You're probably wondering how the fuck does this guy get these videos out so quick? Well, pretty fucking simple, right? I'm just doing it before the end of the tournament because I got shit I got to do tonight. And if you want a Showdown Hoedown round 4 tonight, you're going to have to deal with the round just not quite being all the way over. But it's over enough that we fucking know what we're doing tomorrow, right? And I probably see a pretty big edge. We're going to talk about that. What's up, new guy? Glad you're here. I'm glad you finally found the channel now that golf season ended. But don't worry. Swing season's where it's at. That's where I've won all my biggest tournaments, have the most success. So if I can keep staying, I know football's coming, but we can do football and golf. We're adults around here. So stay around. Enjoy these Sunday showdowns because I'm telling you, most of the Sharks, when football season gets here, they go play NFL, and they're not worried about the Showdown Hoedown. And so that just gives us a bigger edge because it's a lot easier to beat slapdicks than it is to beat pros. There's your fact of the day, new guy. What's up, man? I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a high-limit PGA and NFL/college football DFS player, and I am here to help you not be such a slapdick at these and help you understand how a high-limit player thinks and how you can use game theory, contest selection to be better at these and not fucking hemorrhage money all the time and complain about DraftKings or FanDuel being rigged when really the only thing that's being rigged is you being a dumbass. So I'm here to help you with that. No, I'm not calling you names. These are general terms. I like you, new guy. I like you. By the way, while you're here, why don't you go drop a like and a sub, right? You can't help but notice there's no ads on this video, brother. So all I ask in return, just a like and a sub. I appreciate it. And I forgot to say this yesterday and got no fucking comments. Please, in the comments, tell me. I need to know who is the one guy you are definitely fading tomorrow in Showdown. I'll tell you mine at the end of the video. That's my whole stick, new guy, so you got to wait. So in the comments. By the way, if you do that, you get your name in my big-ass drawing, right? You guys remember the big-ass drawing that I do every Wednesday night on the live stream? Yeah, new guy. I do a live stream every Wednesday night, and this shit ain't going nowhere. I don't care if football's here or not. You get your name on this. All you got to do is go leave a comment down there and tell me who is the one guy you're definitely not playing tomorrow. And then also, if you want another name on there, just go over to Twitter, like and retweet the show that I'll tweet out afterwards, and that'll get you another one in there. So you can have your name on there like 3-4 times if you do it for every show. Not to mention, go leave me a 5-star review on Apple Pod and put your Twitter handle. That'll get you 3 on there. And if you don't know, you get a free ticket with me, and we build it together, and we split the profits 50-50. I've already PayPal'd a good number of people a good amount of money. So you want to be in there. This isn't one of those things where I say, hey, here's $20. Fuck off, loser. It's not like that. I give you my time, my effort, and my process. So there you go. Let's get going. So much to do. What's up first? Let's start with the lobby tomorrow. DraftKings has actually put some pretty appetizing tournaments out there. Normally for round 4, they do $300,000 prize pool, but I guess they're feeling that we're feeling a little froggy tomorrow. And so they did a $400,000 contest, which makes a huge difference to me because now instead of 33% of all the money going to first, only 25% is going to first, right? I love that. Now, I will tell you, the contest still generally sucks. 10th place only pays 1/100th of first, right? That's not great. That is a very negative EV, expected value, new guy, tournament to play in, right? But it's not near as bad as it normally is, right? For all of you that are a little bit bigger, higher rollers, if you're going to play $1,000 tomorrow, I would really consider just doing 2 lineups in this bad boy because I really like this. $200,000, the 555, and only a quarter goes to first place. Normally it's a third goes to first place, so I love that. So, second place is still awesome. Third place is still awesome. It's a much more balanced prize pool than it normally is for this, which makes me a lot more appetizing. If you're not sure which one to play in, well, then just let your player pool dictate it, right? If you like 9 guys, probably just play 2 lineups in this one. Play a core of 3 in each of them, and then kind of mix and match those last 3 spots with other guys you semi-like, right? If you like 22 guys, well, then you'd probably be better going and tossing a bunch in some 20 maxes or going and playing a whole bunch of cheaper single entries like the $5, the $12, the $33. Or if you want, you can go toss some in the big $25. But I'm telling you, you shouldn't be in this tournament with any less, and I mean any less than 25 to 30 lineups because you're just going to get out-leveraged by top players who are putting 150 lineups in there. And a pro with 150 lineups in there versus your 10 lineups in there, I mean, it's astronomical the advantage they have on you. Not to mention the shitty payout structure. You might as well just go to 7-Eleven and fucking play scratch-offs. You do better. You would do better. That is a more EV play than trying to take on fucking Sharks with fewer lineups than them in a terrible paying contest. There you go, new guy. You're welcome. I'm telling you, if you're on a budget, the $100 single entry, the $200 single entry, you can never go wrong with those. If that's too rich for your blood, go check out the 20 max $1, right? Go check out the $5 single entry. They got tournaments for everybody. And when you're playing in those single entries, it really shuts down the big edge that the pros may have on you, or even more experienced players, or just guys with a bigger bankroll. All right. On to weather tomorrow. First of all, looking at today, both waves played almost exactly the same, right? The morning wave and the afternoon both played about 3/4 of a shot under par. So you'd say, oh, so the conditions weren't tougher this afternoon. I think they were tougher. Here's what's misleading about taking round averages, right? When you take a whole wave and you take their average, what that doesn't account for is outliers, right? Like Hadwin and Bezatenhout and Hadwin and all those guys that just completely shit the bed today, right? They made a bogey and they said, well, fuck life, I quit, and they just go bogey every hole, right? Those guys completely inflate the scoring average, or actually would it be deflate? The scoring average of the entire morning wave. If you go look at the 9 best scores today on the round, 7 of them came from the morning wave. So that means that the course was more gettable in the morning and all of the best rounds came from it. So tomorrow, you've got to be open to that, because when we look at these 3 sites, it seems pretty unanimous that it's going to be a pretty scoreable day. It looks like the winds pick up a little bit more in the afternoon. Maybe there's a couple more gusts in the morning, but gusts can be kind of random and not something you always want to count on factoring in. So, I would say do not be afraid to go play those morning guys who will be in the softer conditions, because it's going to get up to 90, 91 degrees tomorrow afternoon, and that shit's going to bake out. And those shots in the afternoon where they're hitting it right to the flag and then it takes a big bounce and skips over, well, earlier in the day, that's 3 feet for birdie. Later in the day, you're trying to get up and down and save par. That is a huge difference. It's almost like they're playing 2 different courses. And yes, even though the scoring average is the same, it's not really, because those guys in the afternoon are grinding for every fucking par. I guarantee you, if you went and watched whoever, Mark Leishman, his last 6 holes, he could not have given less of a fuck. He was just hitting it and whatever, right? Where these guys in the afternoon, every stroke is literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in their pocket. They are going to grind for every shot. So yes, if you play the guys that go off early, you might get some guys that fucking implode and kill your lineups. But I'm telling you, one of those guys that go off in the first 3 hours tomorrow will be just like Sung J M was today, which I told you he would fucking kill it. Donkey Chalk always gets there. And you basically knew if you didn't have Sung Jae today, you weren't winning a GPP. You had no chance. And if you did, he was the guy. You had to have him. If you didn't play him, you were toast. And so there will be one of those guys tomorrow. You just have to be smart enough to go pick one of those guys and pick the right one. Maybe pick 3 or 4 guys down there, but be okay with 1 or 2 of them just straight imploding. Right? And hope that you get that right one in enough of your lineups that you have that nuts play. Because if you don't have the nuts play at Showdown, you're toast. You got to have the nuts play to win GPPs. If you don't want to try to pick the nuts play, well, go fucking play cash. Go play cash, big guy. Okay, moving on. Excuse the burp. All right, where are we at? Don't forget to go like and sub, new guy. I appreciate you. Go check out my pod. I did a pod. Doing another one tomorrow. Got a pretty special guest. Pretty excited. My first Twitter friend ever. So check that out tomorrow. We will be doing it tomorrow after the round ends. All right, let's get to the tournament. As you can see, the Sepp Straka, oh my God, another birdie. He's on 15. So it looks like Sepp Straka is going to go into the round with the lead. Go into the 4th round with the lead. Now, I will tell you this. Here's what I'm taking away from this. There'd be a whole bunch of slapdicks up here. And slapdicks on a Sunday leaderboard, for me, are usually an auto fade, right? Sepp Straka, Trey Mullinax, JJ Spawn, Tyler Duncan, Ryan Palmer, Troy Merritt. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Now, I will tell you, one of these guys will probably do well tomorrow. But if you just faded them all, you'll probably do better because of it, right? To me, if you're going to play somebody up here, we're going to call them the T10 or better guys, right? The only ones that I could really see playing, because they have the ability to just run away with this, would be somebody like a Will Zalatoris, a Cam Smith, Tony Finau. Sung J M, I mean, yeah, he could, I guess. He's within 4 strokes of the lead, but what are the chances that he's going to follow up an epic round like that again? Maybe he will. Matthew Fitzpatrick, Sam Burns. Those are the kind of guys I'd rather have. A guy like, Sepp Straka, what a terrible spot to be in. I will acknowledge he is not as much of a fucking loser as a lot of these guys we often see at the top of leaderboards. But at the same time, he's also going to be playing more conservative. He's not going to be attacking as many pins tomorrow. So, to me, if somebody told me Sepp Straka, I'm going to guess he'll be 40 to 45% because Degenerate 75 has got at least 10% of the community off of fucking stupid playing the leaders on Sundays. That's the easiest fade in the world for me, especially with all these Vikings right behind him just looking to come destroy his soul. So, Sepp Straka, I'm out of there. Trey Mullinax is playing like 99% of his top ability. He could keep it up. Yes, he could. JJ Spawn could bounce back. He could. Troy Merritt spun his wheels today. He could bounce back. But, those guys aren't fucking killers. I don't like it. I'm not telling you who to play or not to play. I'm just saying those are the guys that at most out of those 5 I just named, I would play one of them. And whatever I do, I probably wouldn't be stacking them. But that's on you. You make your lineups how you want. Here's what I really want to take away. How far should we go down tomorrow? Like, there's no way in a big GPP you should probably be playing Mark Leishman, Adam Hadwin, Gary Woodland, Christian Bezaton, Taylor Pendrith, all the guys that just mailed it in today. And one of them will probably have a nice round tomorrow. But the problem with these guys is, first of all, you'd have to pick the right one. Maverick McNeely. All these guys, and you got to try to pick the right one that's going to just have that perfect round, right? And let's say you do pick the right one. Well, what's their upside? Let's say they go ham tomorrow. What's their upside? T30? T30? What is that going to get you? Like 2 extra bonus points? I like guys that have the ability to backdoor top 10. And right now that's setting at -9. So I would be pretty open to basically anybody that's -3 or -4, where if they go shoot a 5 or 6 under tomorrow, they'll be right there on about what the current cut score for -10 is. So I would be willing to go all the way down here to the T52 guys, right? Maybe a flyer on somebody like a Cam Young or a Xander Schauffele. Patrick Cantlay, Aaron Wise. I just talked about this on my VIP video over on the Discord. One of these guys is Justin Thomas that's down here that's like, oh, I can't play them. Too expensive and too far down the board. You hear me and you hear me now. Between Thomas, Cantlay, Wise, Lowry, and Cam Young. Just we'll throw Xander in there too. Just those 5 or 6 guys. One of those guys will be the nuts fucking play tomorrow, or will be in the GPP winning lineup just like Sung J M was today. Can't play Sung J. He had a bad round Friday. Can't play Sung J. He's too far back. And if you didn't play Sung J, you have no chance of winning a GPP today. And one of those guys, those top end golfers, will go off tomorrow and do it. Am I telling you to play him? No, I don't give a fuck who you play. But I'm telling you got to be open to looking at those guys. You can't just simply say Patrick Cantlay is the worst ball striker I've ever seen and shot 1 over today. No way I can play him. Well, he is like a top 5 player in the world. Maybe he figures it the fuck out. Should you play him? I don't know. You answer that question. But what I do know is if you're not considering him, you're a fucking loser and you'll never win at this shit. That's what I do know. Okay. Let's see. Other guys to consider. I love guys. There's 3 main things I like to look at that are different. Here's what everybody does. All right, new guy. This is what people do. They just say, who is ball striking? By the way, new guy. Ball striking is just approach and off the tee combined, right? And they say, I just need to see guys who are ball striking. That's who I will play. Okay, they're going to look and they're going to say, Will Zalatoris has ball striking, but he can't putt. Well, Will Zalatoris always ball strikes and can't putt, so that's not fucking news to me. Collin Morikawa, look at that ball striking but can't putt. Yeah, Collin Morikawa ball strikes and can't putt. Mito Pereira, ball striking, can't putt. Yeah, it's Mito Pereira. He ball strikes and can't putt. Like, that's nothing surprising. That is a good thing to look at because putting is the one thing that is the easiest to flip on a round-by-round basis. But even the most layman fucking slapdick noob knows that, right? So I'm going to try to help you look at statistics in a different way and try to find some real diamonds in the rough. And there's 3 things I like to look at. Number 1, I like to look at guys, I like to go sort by overall score and just look at anybody whose total shots today were at or under par, right? So a guy like JJ Spawn spun his wheels. Oh, he could never do good, or he could. Troy Merritt spun his wheels. He could never do good, or he could. Brian Harmon spun his wheels. He fucking sucks. He could never do good, or he could. These guys, because they had average rounds today, are going to naturally be at less ownership tomorrow simply because of that. It's a bounce back narrative. Fuck their stats, fuck everything. Just I'm going to play them because people are upset that they didn't score for them today, and so they're good bounce back candidates. Plus, every single one of those guys I just said are right there in the top 10 and could still easily, in theory, still win this thing with a 99% upside round. Lucas Glover, Sahith Theegala, KH Lee, they all suck today. They could never do good. Well, they didn't suck. They just spun their wheels. They're all -1, right? But they're all still at T17. They're all still within 3 shots of second place, and they all let down a bunch of people today because they didn't score a ton, right? Kevin Kisner, Adam Scott, Denny McCarthy. These guys, they're horrible. They had horrible rounds today. You could never play them. They're fucking losers. You could never play them. Or you could. This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of stats that you need to go dive into and just understand that golf is a random, cruel, arbitrary sport. And whenever you embrace that variance that happens in a single round of PGA DFS, that is how you get on plays that nobody will be on tomorrow. Forget the stats. Forget if they're ball striking. Forget if they luck sacked with their putter today. Whatever it is, just play the game. You got picks. I'm playing a game. And my game is these guys are going to be lower owned, so I'm going to play the narrative that they'll find their level tomorrow, right? They had a shitty round today, so maybe they'll have a good round tomorrow and it'll level out. Maybe they're falling apart mentally, they'll have another shitty round. But to me, the upside and the bounce back is worth it to take that at the discounted ownership. Because you want to know who's going to be fucking highly owned tomorrow? Sung J M, Will Zalatoris, Hayden Buckley, Joaquin Neiman, Trey Mullinax, Collin Morikawa, Tom Kim. Why? Because they all had great rounds today. I don't want to pay that ownership premium tomorrow for what they did today. I just see, now I'm getting so pumped up, I'm knocking my mic over. So that's how I think. So that's number one. By the way, I'm looking at round 3 stats. That is probably the most relevant stats because it just happened today, right? You can go look at the whole event. Next thing I want to look at, did anybody really shit it away off the greens today, or shit it away off the tee today? Just killed themselves off the tee. Like, look at this. Steven Yeager would have had a great round today if he did not give up 3 strokes off the tee. He must have been hitting them like me, just putting them in the fucking drink every time. I don't know. Adam Hadwin had a horrific round around off the tee. So did Christian Bezatenhout. But they're so far back, you got to ask yourself, like, you know, what's their upside? But somebody like a Denny McCarthy, right? Horrific round off the tee. If he just was average off the tee today, he's having an okay round, right? Tyrrell Hatton, horrific ball striking, only got it done with his putter. Yep. Maybe tomorrow he ball strikes and he keeps the putting going. Did you ever think about that? Xander Schauffele, just horrific off the tee today. Patrick Cantlay, horrific off the tee and horrific on approach. But here's what I'm talking about. Like Kevin Kisner, check this out. Horrific off the tee, great approach, horrible putting, and still managed to shoot even. If he figures out his putter and just doesn't put 1 or 2 OB like he did today, you got to be thinking to yourself that Kevin Kisner is like a tremendous bounce back candidate just sitting there at T24. These are the little diamonds in the rough that you're looking for. I'm not going to go through them all. You make your own picks, new guy. I don't got time for picks. You want picks? You know what? Here's the great thing. I have a fucking Patreon right here. You can go sign up and support me, and I give them all kinds of extra content, and I don't even give them picks. And I actually like those motherfathers. I'm not even sure I like you, new guy. Maybe. You seem all right. I like the cut of your jib. All right, last thing, around the green. Look at James Hong giving away 3 strokes around the green and 2.5 putting. That is horrific. And he still only shot a 2 over. That let you know he was ball striking today. And I like to just go see, like, who was a guy that maybe just killed themselves around the green but had a great day overall? Davis Riley. You know, like, ball striking was there, great approach. You know, and I also last thing I want to look is who had great approach. But the problem with this is what every noob looks at. So, like, of course, Will Zalatoris is going to be popular. But JT Poston, you know, didn't have a spectacular round today but had great approach. And we know that dude can roll the rock. That's something to consider. You know, so the big thing I'm doing tomorrow is I'm fading guys up top. The only guys in the top 10 that I'm playing are big names and maybe one slapdick. Well, who's the slapdick? Straka, Mullinex, Merritt, T. Dunks, Palmer, Hayden Buckley, Andrew Putnam, Wyndham Clark. I consider all them slapdicks, okay? And out of all those guys, I will probably play one. Now, I'll probably play 2 or 3 studs up there because I like the studs up there, and I think a lot of those studs that are up there have killer instinct, and they don't give a fuck that they're at the top of the tournament. They're playing to win, and they don't care if they make 6 bogeys tomorrow. They're already rich. Tony Finau's fucking rich. He doesn't care about making some bogeys tomorrow. Let's see. And then the other thing, the other thing I'm really looking for is guys that spun their wheels, you know, shot even +1, -1 rounds today. Didn't seem like they were doing anything great to just go and, you know, have water find its level tomorrow when they go off. And then I also want to find these guys down here, T52 or higher, maybe even T58. That's going to be that one guy that's going to spike tomorrow and win you a GPP. Last thing we want to look at is round 4 scoring, right? This is in the past year, who's been good at round 4 scoring? Of course, good players are good at round 4 scoring. They're good players. Please don't be a moron. So I'm really looking here for guys that are not your typical big names. A JT Poston, Corey Connors, Brian Harmon, Max Homa, Cam Davis are all top 20 round 4 scorers this year, and all of them are at or around $8,000, right? So they're all much cheaper. And that's important to me because I want guys on round 4 who think to themselves, fuck it, I'm going for it, and they just start firing at every flag. Those are the kind of guys I want in my lineup tomorrow. If you're playing it to just like, oh, I need a guy to make me, 17 pars and 1 birdie. Bro, that ain't going to win you no GPP, man. I'm sorry, it ain't. You need a guy that's going to go out there and make you 9 birdies and 3 bogeys. That's what you want. That's going to get you way more points than 17 pars and 1 birdie. Go do the math. Go do the math, big guy. You won't like what you find. All right, I think that does it. I'm sorry, I got shit to do. I kept this video to 20 minutes. Don't forget, go follow me on Twitter. Leave a comment in this video. Who are you definitely not playing tomorrow? Oh, I got to do my own shtick. Who am I definitely playing tomorrow? I haven't even done this yet. I have no preparation. The one guy I'm definitely playing tomorrow, I've done 0 prep. I am definitely going to play Cam Smith. I'm definitely playing Cam Smith. He got off to a slow start today. Seemed like he couldn't do anything. And the last time he did that on a Saturday and saved his round was at the Open. I'm pretty sure I watched him whoop everybody's ass Sunday. So let's see if he can do it again. I like that he had a good round today, but not a great round. Give me Cam Smith. There you go. One guy I'm playing. One guy I'm definitely not playing. Well, new guy, if you don't know this by now, you need to go tie up, you put on your shoes, your favorite pair of shoes. You tie them, you get them real tight, double knots, and you go outside and you run as fast as you can. right into a brick wall because you don't know shit. There's no way I'm playing Sepp Straka tomorrow. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, Sepp Straka. Uh-oh, looks like JJ Spawn just got back up to second. Love that. We want as many scrubs ahead of the field as possible, right? Like, I hope Merritt can go find a birdie too. Maybe Palmer can go find an eagle. Go get up there, because the more guys there are up top, the more slapdicks are going to play, and that is advantage us. Love it, love it, love it. So that's it. Go like, subscribe, leave the comment. We will be back Wednesday night for the live stream, the emergency stream for what the fuck is it? Is it BMW? Yes, the BMW, right? They're doing a Millie Maker, so surely some people will be interested. That is it. We'll talk to you later. I got shit to do. It's been real. We'll see you Wednesday. I hope you enjoy my outro, you motherfather.